Hello everyone. My name is Farai. I'm going to be presenting how we are going to implement our project, our international project on HIV and AIDS in the sub-Saharan Africa region. And this is how we're going to be going about it. Let me see if I can find my screen. Okay. So the objective is to raise awareness, to prevent new cases, new infections, and also be able to eliminate the stigma that is around HIV and AIDS. So in the raising awareness, what we'll be trying to do is to teach people what HIV is, teach people what AIDS is, and also teach them how it is spread and how they can be able to avoid and prevent it. And on the preventing of new cases, basically what we are doing is we're teaching them how it can be prevented. That we're telling them that it can be prevented and how it can be prevented. That they are aware of all these prevention methods that are available to them, that they may be able to use them to prevent new infections. And also on the reducing of the stigma, what we need to do is to speak openly about it. Don't be afraid to speak about HIV and AIDS and how it affects you, if it affects you, and also be able to speak openly about sex and be able to understand how sex can play a part in the spread of, or how it plays a part in the spread of HIV, and how risky behavior can also be avoided. It can also be able to people can abstain from these risky behaviors that will cause the spread of HIV and AIDS. And the project methodology that we're going to be employing is we are going to be recruiting volunteer educators from within the different communities. So what we would do is go into the villages and then find people who are volunteers, who speak the language, people who understand the culture, that are able to teach others about this HIV and AIDS and how it can be prevented. And also what we need to do is also to have an equal number of male and female volunteers, because research has shown that most of the times you find more female volunteers than male volunteers, because women are just more involved in the whole fight against AIDS than men are. So we want to get more men also involved in the process, so they can be able to speak to other men also about how they can prevent it, because it's difficult when you have only female trainers or educators teaching a male audience about how to prevent AIDS. So when it comes from the male also, it also helps. The other thing is also the age, different age groups. So we need young volunteers and old volunteers also to be able to take part in the process. And what we need also is to organize and source some bicycles for the volunteers, for them to get around the villages. So we need to get a donor or a sponsor to provide those bicycles for them to get around. And also we need volunteer actors, maybe well-known actors from within the villages, to be able to do a play that we can be able to use in the training of in the trainings. As the volunteers go around, they go and do the act or the skit that they have to teach people about HIV and AIDS in the play. And then the first thing that we'll do now is to train the volunteers in a workshop that's going to take maybe a week. So what we'll be training them on is the knowledge of the virus and how it is spread. So we need an extensive, giving them extensive information on how HIV is spread and what it is all about. And then we're teaching them also about the prevention methods, how to prevent it, all the available prevention methods. And then we'll also be teaching them how to be able to speak out about this problem that we are facing. And then we will train them on conducting tests, these home-based tests, so they can be able to go around. As they go around, they can also be able to conduct the test. And as they do the test, they also need to learn counseling, so they can be able to counsel those who may be positive, or those who are affected in any way by this HIV and AIDS. So they'll need to be trained on counseling as well. And then they need to train people on how to living with HIV, with the virus, encouraging people or letting them know that you can still live a happy life even if you live with the virus. So we're trying to teach the trainers that they know exactly how to be able to live a healthy life even under with the virus. So the training sessions in the villages, we would like also to involve the community leaders because of their influence on their community members. So if they take part, they'll be able to influence more people to take part in the processes. We also like to involve religious leaders also because of their influence in the communities. The other thing that we'd like to do is to involve the schools. Schools are the best place to spread information. If you want the parents to come to a meeting, then you can tell the children that they must take the message to their parents, that they must come to a meeting. So we would like to involve all those three parties. So the most important thing is about spreading the word, that everyone knows about what we are doing. So when we begin the process now, we need to give flyers and pamphlets to tell people that, okay, on this date we are going to be having a recruiting volunteers to take part in the training of people on HIV and AIDS. So these pamphlets will go around to the churches, to the schools, around the community also. And also we'll be able to, then the next thing we'll be holding the workshops where we train now the volunteers at a central venue, train them on how they are going to go about doing the training in the community. And then we also hold the testing and the counseling sessions at the same time. So now that after the training, those that are willing and able, they can be able to take part in the testing and the counseling sessions right there and then. So when the volunteers go out, this is how they're going to go do the lesson. There will be a welcome note by the community leader who is available on the day, and then they will introduce the project, they will introduce the program, and then they will also introduce the trainer. Once the trainer is being introduced, then they will also do a brief introduction of themselves, and also introducing the topic of the day. And then before they go into the lesson and the training, we now need to have a skit that we're going to be using the actors to do a short play on HIV and AIDS. And then after they play, then we do the training on how we can prevent the spread of HIV, what it is, and also how we can go to eliminate the stigma that is surrounding this HIV and AIDS. And then there will be a question and answer section where the trainers are leading a discussion, or they're answering questions that the members of the community might be having about HIV and AIDS. And then after that, we will do the testing and counseling, where those who are willing and able to do the test right there and then can do the testing, and also can be able to receive counseling. And then from then on, the testing will continue. The testing and counseling will continue by appointment. So the community will have the numbers and the contacts of those volunteer trainers, so they can phone them and contact them and tell them, I want to do test and I want to do a counseling session. And then when they go there on their bicycles, they can be able to do a test and also be able to counsel the members of the community in their own homes. So they'll also be able to set specific days that they'll be able to be in a specific village to be able to do the test and do the counseling. So the members of the community will know that, okay, on this day, the trainers and are coming to be doing the testing and the counseling. So they can be able to prepare for themselves, be able to set time aside to be able to take part in the process. And then also try to, the role of the volunteers also is to try and identify homes that are affected, and then be able to work with them, to help them to be able to live with the virus within their homes. And measuring success, our success will be measured by the number of people that have taken part in the trainings, in the community trainings, and also by the number of new infections that we have been reported in the period. And also we'll be checking on how people are talking about it openly about HIV, and how they are talking more without having to worry about it, without this taboo that's been around HIV and AIDS. We'll also be able to see the number of people that are taking part in the process. That will also be able to be a sign of or a measure of success in our project. So that is in a nutshell how we're going to be running the project. So we're hoping to start maybe in the villages, when we identify villages that are affected, mostly in countries like Botswana, Lesotho, and Swaziland, and Zimbabwe, and then be able to identify those villages and go in there and run our project. And that's how we're going to be doing it. Thank you.